Alright guys, it's been a long time since I've been fishing, almost a month. I had COVID, so this is the first time I'm going fishing since, and let's get to it. Basically, I'm just gonna fish here a little bit and tell you what happened to me and what happened to my mom. So basically, what happened to me was like it really hit me on a Sunday. And Saturday I was doing some, end of the summer, kind of weed eating everywhere on my property and cleaning out the garage and my building. And so I woke up Sunday and I was real dizzy. And I really just thought it might have been allergies. I didn't really think too much about it. And then I just woke up Sunday and I was kind of dizzy and my nose was plugged up. And then Monday, when I was going back to work, I wasn't really dizzy, but I still didn't feel right. But, towards the middle of the day, I felt fine. So again, I just figured it was allergies. So then Tuesday came, and Tuesday I woke up again dizzy and not feeling real good. So I went to work, and then I could just tell something was wrong. And I told them, I think I'm gonna go get tested. So I had to move because someone was being nosy. Like I said before in some of my other videos, really, if you want peace down here, you need to just go in the middle of the lake if you want to talk. That's why I don't talk too much. But so Tuesday I left work and got tested and I was positive. So they gave me a Z-Pack and a steroid. And the next day I kind of felt the same. I was just, man, you just don't feel right. And so then the next couple days were when it was really bad. Like just my muscles were sore. I could barely walk, and a bad fever. And I mean, really, I have an inhaler because of allergies, and without that, I would have probably ended up in the hospital because I really couldn't breathe. So I kind of, after a few more days, kind of felt a little better, but something was just clogged in my head. I still was just hurting. So I just kind of wrote it out. And then it was on a Friday, and I was supposed to go back to work Monday. Like Friday was my 10th day or whatever to go back to work. And they just told me to just come back on Monday. And so I went back to the doctor and said, man, I don't really feel no better, really. And they checked me out, and I didn't have no fever or nothing. But they ended up finding out that the whole time with COVID, I had a severe sinus infection at the same time. So then they gave me some different antibiotics and some more steroids. And oh yeah, they gave me a shot while I was in there. And pretty much that afternoon I felt better. I was just tired still, but that was really about it. It was pretty scary. I gotta be honest. I kind of wasn't expecting that. I was kind of actually hoping to get a couple days in fishing towards the end of all that when they told me I had to come back to work Monday instead of Friday. I was thinking maybe I'd go fishing, but I just couldn't do it. So my mom was a different story. I think like she really started feeling bad. Like I said, Friday I went to the doctor, and that Saturday she said she didn't feel that great, and that was the Labor Day weekend. So Sunday she's kind of the same thing, didn't feel good, and so when Tuesday came around after the holiday, I took her to get tested, and she had it, and they gave her the same thing. And I don't really got to check on my mom too much. I mean, if you get in her business, she's the type that'll tell you to stay out of her business. So, I just check on her, and you always hear you got to worry about the lungs, the lungs, the lungs. And, she said she was breathing fine the whole time. So I just thought she would be all right. And then a couple days later, I went and checked on her, and she was basically unresponsive. I mean, she was just laying there and wouldn't really talk or move. So I got her up and took her to the hospital, and they admitted her, and they started her treatment, and I think she was on like a whatever that is, that Remdesivir or Remdesivir or whatever. And I told them, don't put her on. I said, I don't want her on a ventilator unless it's absolutely necessary, because there's so many people that die on that thing. So anyway, she was in the hospital, and I think that treatment is 4 or 5 days. And she still wasn't doing real good. I mean, she hasn't ate, and I was kind of wondering why they were letting her go, because she really was just. I mean, she would mumble a few things, but I was thinking, what am I gonna do? So I got her home, and when she would say something, she was real incoherent. So I just thought it was maybe the medicine or something. And the next day, a home nurse was supposed to come to the house and check on her. So he came. He came, and he said that we just got to get her medicine in check and in her body, and she might be okay. So I had a stack of medicine. I'm thinking, I never took care of nobody, so I was so nervous. And she didn't really get no better. And sheesh. And the next day, the home nurses were coming again. So the first guy that came was a therapist, and he checked her out, and her vitals were fine the whole time. So I was kind of not really arguing, but asking him, like, there's got to be something else wrong. And because my mom's not like that. And so he checks her vitals and all that, and he said, I think he starts asking her questions, like, where are you at? And she knew. She said Alabama. And then he started, her name and birth date. And she kind of got through that. And so then he goes, "Can you tell me what year it is?" She said, "1997. I'm getting tired of all these questions." And then I was just like, "Oh my God." And he asked her a couple more specific questions, and I was scared. I was, well, more scared than I already was. And he said, "I think I know what's wrong with your mom." And he told me about this brain fog, where it kind of messes with your brain a little bit. And I was like, I never heard of that. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I really believed him at the time. And he said, "She's got to go back to the hospital immediately." And then this other guy, he was the nurse guy. He gave her medicine and all that. So I couldn't really take her to the hospital because she wouldn't move, so the ambulance came and got her. And so I didn't go. The ambulance guy told me, he's like, "You don't really have to follow us. Well, they'll let you know what's going on." So I said, okay. And I've been waiting and waiting for a couple hours for a phone call. And finally the hospital calls me. They say, "Hey, there's nothing we can really do. We're going to discharge her." And then I was just confused. I was like, "What?" I was like, "I just seen her. There's no possible way something ain't wrong." And the hospital's like, "Well, we're going to discharge her, so you need to come get her." So I called one of the home nurses and ended up talking to I don't know if he's the boss man or what, but when I called him, he was like, "I know already. We're on the phone with the hospital right now, so I'll call you back." He said, "But don't go get her." So now I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And it was just all just confusing, And so I'm waiting for a while, probably 2 hours. And he finally calls me back and he said, "Hey," he goes, "I hate you really had to see this, the politics of the hospitals right now, but," he said, basically, one doctor didn't want to take her back in the hospital. And then there was a shift change. And the next doctor came in, got her in the room, and admitted her back in the hospital. So that's the reality. I mean, it's just insane. So she was in the hospital for a while, and probably 2 days, and I went and visited her, and she didn't really even look at me or really talk to me, and she still hasn't really eaten nothing. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, man. And so I'm sitting there, and the phone rings, and it's the hospital, and I'm thinking, oh no, what now, And I answer the phone, and kind of took a couple seconds. It was quiet, and I hear, "Hey, what happened to me?" And it's my mom, and I really just can't believe it. And she just kind of woke up out of that fog, I guess, and was just wondering what happened to her and asking a bunch of questions. It was disturbing. So she really wasn't eating yet, but she was drinking those nutrition shakes or whatever. Then she was okay. After that, just got a little better every day, and then she had to go to a rehab place get walking, and they were kind of doing exercises with her brain, and now she's fine. But I had never heard of that brain fog thing, so I thought it was important to at least talk about it, because I had never heard about that, and it was really scary. But she's doing okay now, and I just want to thank the home nurses, because them fighting for her is really what saved her life. Because I mean, they'd just blow me off when I would talk to the hospital. And that doctor that readmitted her, he saved her life too. And I'd really like to know who that doctor was that was going to send her home, because I got some medicine I'd like to give that asshole. But that's the politics of the hospital, and the rehab center was great too in Florence. I mean, just great people, man. So that's about it. That's the story of what happened to me and what happened to my mom.